It's still this morning on IETV, and this is Abuja Center. From Abuja Network Center, this morning we are talking security in a situation whereby people who are supposed to protect other people, those who are protecting the life and property of Nigeria, are being attacked. This has been ongoing for some time, but at some point, as if it has started recently, there has been renewed attack on personnel in the security personnel are being attacked. Actually, what is the future of the citizens? What happens to the security of life of the country? And we all know the government's primary responsibility is the security of the lives and properties of Nigerians. So this will form the crux of the discussion this morning on TMI and from Abuja Network Center. And I have two security experts. We shall look at this situation together. We shall be dissecting this topic together. I have from my far right, Mr. Peter Anthony. He is a security expert. You're welcome, sir. And just close to me here, my brother, Jonathan Isaac, a security expert as well. So here we have a full house where we shall be dissecting this issue. Gentlemen, you're welcome. I'll start from you, Mr. Peter. Can we just have an assessment of the security situation, let's just say, in the last 6 months in Nigeria?
Yeah, thank you. Good morning once again. The fact remains that the security context of Nigeria has been dictated over the last 6 months by politics. The data out there, open source data, show that when having election, the electioneering campaign, there was a complete shift by all sectors towards electioneering campaign. So what we were having majorly was election-related security incidences. And immediately after the election, there was a lull. There was a kind of like quiet period because everybody wanted the outcome of the election. People were expecting the outcome of the tribunal, the courts that were looking at the complaints, and as soon as the court finished or delivered their judgment, you could see that the attentions are shifting from the political focus back to normal programming, so to say. And to make that worse, the last 1 or 2 months since the new government came in has been very turbulent economically. And so everybody is trying to up his game to be able to survive, so to say, meet up the economic demands. So you can see that shift. The kidnapping for ransom has returned full swing. Attack on farmers, innocent people has returned full swing. All of these dovetail into one thing: the economy. And to make matter worse, the military themselves are not completely from the situation on ground. Because somebody will ask me, how much, apart from the top echelons, the foot soldiers, the guys on ground, what is their living standard? I don't know how much they are paid now, but I can tell you confidently that their pay is not encouraging. So the temptation to also get involved in one or two things to make ends meet is also there. So that you go to the police station to lay claim. In the past, the police will take your complaint and deal with it, maybe with just an amount of 1,000 naira, you will be surprised now that they will tell you it's 20,000. So that is the situation we find ourselves. So there's a close knit between the economy, the situation of the country, with the insecurity we are having. Don't forget that we've had this situation before the election, and everybody was expecting that the election would bring a lot of change. But all of a sudden, it dawned on us that the election has come and gone, and we are back to normal programming, and the action has become more difficult. So it is not a surprise that we are finding ourselves here.
Jonathan, your take?
Well, my brother here made some abstractions that we want to respond to, starting from before the elections, what happened, how some of these actors went to sleep, and after the elections, how insurgents resurfaced and all of that. If we want to check some of the things or the factors, they are numerous to begin to mention, from the economic dimension and other global challenges that are equally affecting the situations currently. But let me take it from this perspective. You see, our security agencies over the years have not been able to come up with a plan. Why did I say with a plan? They come to the media to tell you what they intend to do when they have done it. So after 2 attacks, they will tell you we are going to, ensure the plan is well put together. And all. So for now, we are not used to media propaganda from the security. We see it has to be very, very secret when it comes to security. But it's now that we begin to see so many things happened, we are just trying to be reactive when things are happening. But let me not bore you with theories here. One of the things I think is actually necessitating these actions now is, number one, the government itself is not true to the cause of fighting insecurity in Nigeria. Number two, we have not been able to obey to an extent the judiciary, the law that makes us. And if that happens, we will have to ask ourselves, is security are we fighting? Because we're fighting what you want to get. You want to get peace, but you've been actually fighting peace. Judiciary is part of the people that are supposed to make up the peace in this country. Why am I saying this? Injustice is also part of insecurity. So when people are giving justice, and in one way or the other, you try to, take it off from the it becomes another part of insecurity. Today it is in the southeast. Before now it used to be in the northeast, and now the whole thing has shifted to the southeast.
Not only southeast, basically right in the northwest. There was an attack, yes, on soldiers.
Agreed.
And as we speak, as of yesterday, a suspect is still at large in Rivers State for the murder of the police DPO.
So why I'm saying this is that I said today is in southeast. We know what happened to that of the DPO's murder, and also the soldiers that were attacked. If we want to count the incidences that are necessitated these things, you will agree with me that, like I said, government has not been true to it getting some of it.
No,
I will define it. I will define it to an extent. Hold on. Number one, why you want to fight for anything insecurity? Number one, you must agree with me that if you are sending me to a war front, you must make me to understand I'm going to a war front. Why? What are those things you are going to know for me to know that I'm going to a war front? How many of our soldiers, how many of our police officers, or let me put it, the security that goes to the war front, that you see them with bulletproof helmets, you see them with jackets and anklets that you see around. They are not prepared to fight the war.
No, but we see them now, like the ones we see in the bush. You see them well kitted.
Which of the kits are you seeing on them?
The vest.
How did the bullet penetrated them if they were well kitted? The deaths of the police officers and soldiers we saw on the ground in the last attack that were burned, they are not bulletproof vests. So that's why I said we are not prepared to fight the war. Is it that they gave them and they refused to use them? That is one aspect. But over the, I've not seen enough of this happening. That when one police officer or one soldier is going to the war front, you see how kitted he is. Because it should be war front. Going to the southeast zone, the northeast, the southwest are all the war zone. That they should have prepared their mindset and all of that. It's also another part of injustice that we are doing to ourselves as a nation. First October is not far from here. We will go and drop wreaths and salutes fallen heroes. Yes. When we should be complimenting our standing heroes, we are rather going to compliment dead ones that we don't even read the service. Are you saying
it is not right to remember?
Why we have Remembrance Days to remember those people? So the day of 1st October is to compliment those that are standing.
Okay, that is, you're proposing this. Going forward.
No, going forward, we have Remembrance Days as a nation. So this of October, we should forget about this ceremonial of this and that. We should rather concentrate on the standing heroes before they fall. Because if you've not heard me, like the other thing going, they say a Good Friday is not from a Thursday. So if you didn't support me when I'm gone, that you want to come and come and be standing before the people and be saluting me. So our government needs to be true to the cause, equip the personnel, and also modern gadgeting. How can people just on their own look in advanced country as they are moving, the vehicle, the backup vehicle, we have a television that is watching us 2, 3, 4 meters before even arriving. This, they are prepared. They are moving. I am seeing from the forest zones, from the airspace, what is happening. So your movement is not just you are inside the vehicle. So we have seen a lot of people just months back. We saw how our officers were killed, and somebody is inside the bullet. Him and his family halted. So if you think that yes, you from here you need your bulletproof cars because of what will happen on the road, then why do you undermine the lives of people you send to the zoo where they said their leader is still in captivity, even when the judiciary release him? This can be these truth failures that can do it just to send signal to the people. You get it? So we are sending people to this. We should be more of the fact that we need to prepare them any way we can do to support them. Let us support them. Sending them some bags or sachets of gari into the healers and say move like ships without without a shepherd is just insult to our security person. And I think this.
All right, let me hold your thoughts there. Actually, we know that these people are best. No, with what they have, they are doing their best.
Their best is not enough.
Well, we know that they are doing their best. Peter, let's look at a situation. How is it that for a while now, Nigeria has been trying to get a grip of insecurity, and it is not happening? Because we've also heard that there has been some allegedly wrangling between security agencies. Could this also be a contributing factor among security agencies, intra-rivalry?
I'm always very a bit on the edge when we
as a security expert.
Yeah, because I'm directly concerned. There's an adage in my place that when an old woman watch the young girls dancing a dance that she knows, that she has experience, probably was once a champion in that dance, they are not dancing it, the old woman will not only feel uncomfortable, she will feel bad. Personally, talking strictly as a soldier, I tell you that we are not ready as a nation to fight insecurity.
Since when? Because I remember there was a time Nigeria's soldiers were said to be the best.
That was in our time.
I was still growing up then.
That was in our time.
I vividly remember.
That was in our time.
They were
that was in our time when Nigerian soldiers enter any theater.
Exactly.
Information will go around that Nigerians are around. Well, Liberia, the very night we arrived in Liberia, the rebels moved 15 kilometers into the bush because they had information Nigerian troops have come. When our troops went to Sudan, that's why each time our people go out on operation, they come with medals. Gallantry. We are not. I always say that I do the curriculum now has changed. Like I'm one of those who said that Nigerian military training died the day we pronounced that NDA is now a university. That is the day we lost it. That is the day we lost it. Sandhurst, one of the oldest officer training academy in the world, remained an officer training academy 2.5 years. It's 4 years a university degree program. It's 2.5 years of officer training. When you go there and come back, when you are looking at your own mother, she will look shorter.
I don't get it.
What I mean is that by the time you finish 2.5 years in the academy, you come back, you are a different human being. You are not carved for officer training. You are a trained actor. So you'll be hungry for action.
So what happened?
What happened is that we dropped the ball when we changed the academy to a university. We dropped the ball when we monetized our military services, when we corrupt them, when we thoroughly corrupt them. Let me tell you, when
let me hold your thought, please. We are taking on a commercial break. We'll go on a commercial break, and when we return, the discussion continues. Stay tuned.
Every opinion counts.
All right, thank you. We're still on the discussion, and I still have Isaac with me. I still have Peter with me. So, what happened? What went wrong?
Yeah, like I said, what happened was that we killed the system.
But does changing the name affect the training?
Not the name. An officer training academy has been changed from training officers to training graduates. It has become a university. In those days, they will even tell you when you finish from the academy, they will tell you academy is not for academic work. So when you finish from the academy, you are now an officer. If you want to go to university, you can now go. That's why the certificate they will give you is an equivalent of HSC. Then you can go to university now, direct entry. Go and read. But the first 2.5 years that you spent here is to train your mind to be a soldier. That changed. The curriculum changed. For God's sake, tell me what is the business of an army officer with political science? Are you aware that if you go and take NDA syllabus, you see political science, economics, accountancy, what is that other funny subject? So the regular university courses, they even wear academic gown and do matriculation. For 4 years, they are reading for their degree. When do you train them as army officers? And when they finish, they go and do graduation, where academic go and do graduation. What will they do when they go to university? Is that what they will do in the war front? Is that what they will do in the battlefield? So that is the number one spot where we drop the ball. This number two spot is that we monetize the system. We corrupt the system. So now it's a danger when cat and the rat are frolicking together, eating from the same plate. Okay. What will get corrupted?
The cat and the
dog.
The cat and the dog, or the cat and the rat?
The cat, the dog, the rat eating together in the same plate.
The cat and the rat sit together.
It is happening now. It is happening now.
One will definitely consume it.
Now. It is happening now. The chemistry is that the taste of biscuit in the mouth of a rat and in the mouth of a cat is the same. It's sugar. So when the cat has opportunity to test the biscuit and the rat also has opportunity to test the biscuit, when they meet, they will no longer be enemies. They will jointly consume the sugar. This is a product of science. Test it, you will see it.
Okay.
Nigerian military has been made to test money. In my days, your ambition is service to fatherland, which will take your blood. Now, it is a business venture. Quote me, what is the business of an army officer building an estate? What is he telling me? When I told you that you can die, you are ready to die now. So when you see what the politicians are doing, and the politicians have go to the mess now, majority of the mess members, in fact, the larger majority is the politicians. They go there and corrupt the army officers. That is why barracks are built. It was meant to keep them away from corruption. But now it is no more so. They are kept away from corruption. And politicians are like poison. Anything you put to them, they will corrupt it. Mix politicians with any venture, deal with it. It's not just politicians in Nigeria, all over the world. Now, let me bring you to the question you are asking. Nigeria is the only country that does not understand what we call the economy of war. There is something called the economy of war. Why do you think America is fighting in Ukraine? Why do you think Britain, all these other countries, are sending weapons to Ukraine? Is it because they love Ukraine? They are using it to do their business. The arms manufacturing firms are having a field day. America will always want to be in war because it will trigger production. In the production, companies manufacture these weapons. Companies sell the uniform, all the kit he was talking about. Companies produce them. When there is a war, those companies will not be working 24 hours. They are cashing out. Government is also making money. A war economy, that's why you see that anytime America stay for a few years, they didn't get into any war, they will create one.
Not for themselves, eligible.
Not for themselves. Create the war anyhow, anywhere. Because they permit. Economically, they will benefit from it. Nigeria is the only country that fought a war and did not benefit anything. This insecurity that we are having should have a leverage for us to treat the defense industry to go back to the original mandate of producing military kits. Are we doing that? It will have triggered the steel assembly plant in Bauchi to go back to the original mandate to produce armor personnel carrier and all other military equipment. We are not doing that. Rather, we are asking for China to produce plastic helmet for us. In my days, we don't use plastic. It is iron to prevent bullets from entering.
So in your days, will they produce Nigeria?
Even that's when industry was set up. That is, most of these things were produced there. At that time, defense industry, for your information, the Nigerian defense industry set up the same period with the Pakistan defense industry. Today, Pakistan defense industry is manufacturing aircraft. Manufacturing furniture. They are household furniture. Just to keep the equipment warm. They've gone into manufacturing furniture.
That's economy, that's business.
Business. Was that the original mandate? This is the problem. This is the problem. So, my dear, we drop the ball, and if we must fix it, let's go back to that. Before now, soldiers and police that are being killed, like he said, what kind of kits do they have? In these modern days of technology warfare, what kind of equipment did you give them? I always feel very, very sad when they say soldiers run into ambush. Ambush? When even those bandits run into your ambush, because there are simple technology that they can buy and see you from 1 kilometer away. Are you for God's sake, Nigeria Air Force Technology Institute in Zaria are manufacturing drones. Encouragement is government giving them to develop those drones so that those, before you go on a patrol, for instance, you are able to send a drone to survey your route so that you know who is there. If the bandits can do that, these drones are very cheap out there, and the Nigerian government, Nigerian military have already put this in place to be able to manufacture them for their use. How much of support are they getting? So you see a Nigerian soldier, the one that is even funny about it is that a Nigerian soldier will carry AK-47 with 20 bullets. He's going on patrol. A bandit will carry AK-18, a belt of 600 bullets.
Okay, AK-47, AK-18.
That one can go as far as 250 meters.
So it's better than AK-47.
Is 75 meters.
Wow. Okay, Jonathan, let's look at how can we really get a grip of all this? You know, there's been a call for state policy, and we now have commission. Do you think this is working? And there are also some individuals that have come up with their own security outfit, hoping that at least government can inculcate them into the system. So do you think if all of this should be brought together, do you think it will help?
Like I've always told you, Charity, you agree with me that you cannot solve conventional insecurity.
Because I'm talking about manpower now.
I'm coming. You can't solve a conventional insecurity with a regional solution.
Okay.
What that means is that in the days of the outburst of the Boko Haram spreading, infiltrating the southeast, you had even southwest, you had the Igubiabu, for instance. You still have the Amor something, Amotekun.
Amotekun, yeah.
You have the likes of even the one that was received by the Northern Emirates and all of that. How far has that actually solved them? You see, that's why I told you that you can't these problems, these conventional insecurity problems, with a regional security solution. Yes, it is important that at this time it is right for state policing. But what kind of state policing mechanism are we going to adopt to mitigate some of these challenges? Because for me, when we talk about state policing, it is about the state, the people versus the police. The word state police is the people versus the police. Now, our police system, our policing system, have actually shifted from the information-driven policing to who has the pockets full bags of money.
How do you?
Number one, if you tell a Nigerian living, for instance, in southern Kaduna, to go and report a case against a criminal in that place, one of the fear is going to exercise if the criminal is well-to-do and known in the society. This person is well-to-do. One of the fear is going to entertain is that, should I go to the police station and make this report? Not to get the fact that, not to forget the fact that he's still going to pay for police case file. Take it or leave it. Today, our police, if you go to divisions today, they are still collecting money for case file. That poor Nigerian that saw him killing that innocent child or raping that child or burying the child, if he gets to the police station to go and make this report, even when the body, he can point to this is where he was buried, and the body can still be exhumed. The fact comes to him that he had the money to pursue this. And but two already has come in, because that may go in there and give to one DPO a 200 million, 1 million, depending, allegedly. That's what I know the journalist is going to say always.
No,
allegedly, agree.
And
then after that, he comes back and that child, that same is going to die. Now, let me tell you something. It's what a shame. It's a shame when we police, and the communities are not taken along in the whole aspect of policy. So I think one of the issues here is that we over-centralize our or our security. Let us decentralize it. information sharing will not necessarily be that I have to come to the police station. Yes, let us also digitalize it, that I can be in the comfort of my house, because so unfortunately some emirs, some chiefs, traditional type rulers cannot be trusted again, that you can run to them and say, sir, this is what is, and they cannot take it up to the DPO. But if you are at your comfort and you can just send a distress message to the porter at the local level or at the divisional level, that actually makes sense. They don't even know where this person is coming from, but you have passed an information. That's the report. If it is being acted on, then we can be talking about how effective is this going to be in the days to come. So before we talk about community policing, we need to fix some of those things. We need those teasers. Let's see how it's going to work first, effectively, before community policing. But okay, now.
But the community policing is grassroots driven.
That is why I'm saying that. Let us test.
Whereby you can walk from point A, easily walk from point A to point B.
And I say this point A to point B are no longer trusted. See, as far as I'm concerned, there's a distrust between the Nigerian people and our security agencies. Until that trust is achieved, they talk about effective community. But if that trust is not there at the moment, they can bring in some of these things I have mentioned to create a portal at the local level. You don't even need to go there and tell the person that this is what I am saying. Just send a message that this is. Then now you begin to see how effective that message is being responded to, how sweet they responded to those actions, to those distress messages, and then from there they can begin to build the trust that they acted on this, even when they did not even know who sent it. They went there, they discovered that yes, there was a rape case, there was a this and there was a that. They are arresting, the person is being prosecuted, and the person is in this and that. Now, when that begins to happen, then Nigerians can begin to say, it's true, that message that I sent that day, I saw them paraded the man, they have arrested him, now they have prosecuted him. So you can imagine, so our police system is now coming back. Now policing will begin to come, because I said, not until the people have a trust on the people they are going to report to, then there is not going to be effective community policing. What you are going to see is that there's a man that went to report today that something happened in the community. The following day, the man was found in his room. So to have that kind of a thing, let's localize it, creating a center with a phone number, or we want to do it in
free numbers.
Let's take it to the local level. I don't even go when you respond to, okay, let me tell you something. Something is happening in Nyanya. You will call emergency number 112, and then at the end of the day, somebody will be leaving Asokoro to go there. So let us have a very close, I'm talking about community policing in this instance. If we have community policing, like the case of the attack on Kuje, this is where we have all the security assembly, and this are still happening under their nose, then we should know that a lot of things have to be done. So going forward, before we talk about creating next outfits to meet the conventional security, let us test on what we have on ground. And again, police also awaken to mandate, because one of the things that is happening is that we talk about inter-agency rivalries.
Exactly.
And all that. What is happening is because of they have lost focus. If not so,
there is alleged inter-agency rivalry, alleged
age rivalry.
Agency
we are
rivalry.
seeing it on daily basis. What they need to do is that, look, in as much that one has to complement the other, you can always do that from your duty post, from where you are assigned to do that. For instance, we are in this studio. The man that is supposed to project this thing to the wall doesn't necessarily need to come to the studio. He can be in his own office and do that. Now, if the army have to protect our territorial integrity, they can be at the border and do that and avoid the case of checkpoint, because that is not their mandate. We are not fighting war. Now, if police has to carry out the internal policing of the state, let police our responsibilities and begin to do that. the civil defense are supposed to protect the government infrastructure against vandalism and all of that, and then begin to go and do that. This does not stop the JTF we are having, but at least the unnecessary swing from primary assignment to the other has also created a lot of this. Because by the time they begin to do that, they begin to demand for allocations and all of that. So it's actually gone to security as it is now. Their focus have been shifted. They can begin to make money. Otherwise, what is the business of the police of the men and the cabinet checked? What is that? That is supposed. What is the and begin to do that? They have lost focus at killing our standing heroes like chickens. Because if they have not gone to mingle themselves with some of these guys, they would have given them. Also, unfortunately for us, we have not seen them as they ought to be doing. If these things are in their primary response, gentlemen, we want to see the DSS that intercepted of arms at their Papa airport years back in 2010. We want to see that kind of actionable intelligence gathering. We need to see that it is working. Not that the police, we want to see you that from what we used to see the patrol in 1987, 1979, the way it was happening in 1990, to see you activate this checkpoint. That thing happened where the cameras that are removed. Police should be held responsible to other. You must look in my office. I cannot come. I face a television and it is missing. What if I assign a guard to that place? That should be held responsible. But that is the focus for that. That investigation should start from. If the federal capital territory, the that can even install the federal capital can be dismantled under a leadership of an IG. That is.
Mr. Jonathan, I have to hold your thoughts here. I'll take it as the last word. Mr. Peter, please. Sorry about that. You know, you always come back every time for us, but there's not word, sir.
Yeah. My last word will be to address the question of intra and inter agencies.
Yeah.
Let us practice what is that we see in other crimes. Let all our agencies, the personnel, be trained academy. So many countries are doing that. Air Force, Navy, nations, NSDC, whatever. They are academy. After the academy training, they can now go to their various agencies. So whenever there is a need to collaborate, there is nothing like you are my senior or I'm your senior. I know my contemporary that is in NSDC. I will know somebody that is in road safety. I know my contemporary that is in immigration. So when operations bring us together, as my senior, and my junior knows me as a senior, and before you say Jack, command structure is established. Now, for the external one, he has already mentioned corruption. It is because of budgetary allocation. That is why this agency wants to be seen to be doing the job. This other agency wants to be seen to be doing the job. And until we bring them together under a proper structure, we won't get that right. For me, where to start is that government should make up their mind if they want to fight corruption, if they want to fight insecurity. Because I'm one of those who believe that this insecurity we are having is man-made, is political. Political. If you draw either once, if you draw the pie chart of the insecurity in Nigeria, politics with 50%.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Peter Jonathan, as always, for always gracing and answering our calls whenever we'll continue this discussion definitely some other time. So we've been discussing security situation from Abuja Network Center, how to tackle security, the insecurity in this country, and unfortunately, how we looked at how best to ensure that our security personnel are safe. Need to also make sure that their welfare is being taken care of. And there's also the issue of manpower.